All right. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, honor, glory, and worship unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who still rule and teach well. And peace, blessings to the Lord's elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth, pushing his word in humility and sincerity, as commanded by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which the elect consist of the elect of the nation of Israel, the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel, which today in these times have been hidden under the bywords, the derogatory terms of Negro, Latino, Seminole, Native American Indian, of Negroid and Indian descent, according to the seed of the Father. You are the biblical Israelites that were prophesied to go into slavery via ships into America, which in the scriptures is Mystery Babylon the Great. And then to be delivered here from the nuclear destruction, the nuclear war that's going to destroy America. I just saw this. So I typed in male fertility declining worldwide on Google. Male fertility declining worldwide. It says about 14,400,000 results in 0.77 seconds. Call him like Albashmel Shah. 1,400,000, 144. in 77 seconds. 0.77 seconds. But anyway, so getting right into it, that's the topic. And how could you want to stay? How could you want to stay? Pay bills for the next 100 years or however long you're gonna live, 60, 80 years. Still here paying bills, still here, being in positions of servitude. Still here. Jake got baby mama drama, baby daddy drama. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, the food is not real. The water is no good. You got to worry about if we was to stay here for the duration of our lives. At some point, you're going to get sick. You might catch cancer. You might catch some rare disease. Who wants to go through that? And then on top of all of that, you got different agendas, the Moism, the freakism, the transisms, the transhumanisms, all these different isms that they're forcing down your children's throat via their control system or their school system. And if that all of that is not bad enough, and if all of that don't make you want this kingdom to go down so that the kingdom of heaven can come up, it says male fertility is on a decline. So you're not having as many children being born. And this is that juice that majority of the world took 2 years ago. In the past 2 years, they've been drinking that juice. And now you got different medical terms that you didn't hear. One of them starts with ends with itis. You got these different medical terms that you never heard about before 2 years ago, like a sudden death syndrome, something like that. People just dropping dead, right? And people are not having children. Women are having miscarriages. And this is all because the people that adhere to the system, they worship the image of the beast, which is the system. And the philosophies, well, the image is the philosophies of the system, but the beast is the actual system, the beast in Revelation. So how can the kingdom of heaven not come, as I put in the subtitle? How could the kingdom not come? Because Yahweh Shai said, Matthew 24 and 22, it says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. And now you're starting to see why Yahweh Shai said the things that he said. If on the earth was a freak, a mole was into Moism, man on man, woman on woman, if everybody in the world was like that, or the majority of the world was like that, then who would there be left to have babies? Okay. On top of that, have male fertility on the decline. So even the men that would like to have children, a lot of them are unable to. You have a lot of women that are barren. And Esau uses different things to poison you and to lower your hormonal levels, lower your whatever the scientific terms are, so that you're not able to produce and reproduce. And a lot of it comes from the food and the water. So let me read this in Ezekiel 4:16. It says, "Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat." Oh no, Salakia. Verse 13. Ezekiel verse 13. And Yahweh said, Even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. Right. So that's what it is. Our food is defiled. Our food is poison. That's why you have something called the Food and Drug Administration, because the food is drugs and the drugs is food. It says, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles. So, and the Lord is making an equation, because Ezekiel was commanded to bake cakes of barley, but the Lord told him to bake the cakes of barley with boo boo in it, with shit in it. So Ezekiel did what the Lord said. He baked the cakes of barley and he put the dung in the cake. And the Lord said, the same way you made this shit cake, that's the same type of bread or food that the children of Israel will eat among the heathen. So basically what we're eating is shit. And it's causing women to, like I said, be barren. And now that I'm thinking about it, you had that movie, The Handmaid's Tale. It was a series called The Handmaid's Tale. Let me type that in. And in the series, majority of women could not have babies. And there was a select few women that could, and they were the handmaids. Hence, the scriptures, Rachel, Leah, and their handmaids, Bilhah and Zilpah. So the movie was kind of centered around that type of not it wasn't centered around the scriptures, but that's where they were playing. The wordplay came from the scriptures. So you can see, and we know that through Hollywood, through movies and television, this is how Esau, the top elite banking families, the people that pull the strings behind the scenes, this is how they show you what they have in mind for society through their movies. They'll put a particular concepts that they want to implement in the future. They'll put it in these movies to see how the world reacts to it, see what people's, reaction to these things. So let me read this. This is The Handmaid's Tale. I just thought of this, so that's the spirit. It's a series, TV series. The first line says, The Handmaid's Tale is an American dystopian television series created by Bruce Miller, based on a 1985 novel of the same name by Canadian author Margaret Atwood. Now, if you look at this word dystopia, it says a utopia and dystopia fiction are genres of speculative fiction that explores social and political structures. Utopia fiction portrays a setting that agrees with the author's ethos, having various attributes of another reality intended to appeal to readers. In dystopia, I'll explain it. Dystopia is pretty much a bad society, a negative society. A utopia would be like the kingdom of heaven, and a dystopia would be like an oppressive and a bad, society. So The Handmaid's Tale was a dystopia, and in The Handmaid's Tale, what do you have? You have fertility issues. Majority of people could not have children, but you need children to continue humanity. So it says the plot: in a world where fertility rates have collapsed as a result of sexually transmitted diseases and environmental pollution, the totalitarian and economic government of Gilead establishes rule in the United States in the aftermath of civil war. So in this movie, man, you had the fertility rates collapse. because it says sexually transmitted diseases and environmental pollution. So now that was a movie, but now let's read a reality. This is from the Guardian.com, published, I believe it was published November 15th, Tuesday, November 15th. It says humans could face reproductive crisis as sperm count declines. Right. And I remember my wife had a dream like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. She said that she was in a like a perfume store. And she said that the women in there was trying out the perfume and spraying it on themselves and spraying it on their wrists and spraying it on their, and they was trying the perfumes out. But she said that something told her not to try the perfume. So then, like, the scene switched, and long story short, she said that she found out that the perfume that they was taking was making them infertile, was making them barren. So Esau got all kind of ways to poison the masses of the people so that they're not being productive. Because remember, it said about Esau, he wants to be the Most High, and here it is. He's jealous of Yahweh Shemel Shah. He wants to be Yahweh Shemel Shah, but he wants to be the opposite of what Yahweh Shemel Shah is. So this is a true fucking devil, man. Like, the Lord created the perfect demon. He wants to be the Lord, but he wants to be the Lord in the opposite fashion. So everything that the Lord established in the beginning, he wants to turn that upside down. And I'm about to give you a prime example. If I go to First Thessalonians 2. Let me see. Oh no, it was Second Thessalonians. I'm tripping. That's how I know I'm getting sick, because I can't think straight. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." It says, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." And that's what Esau does. So with anything that is attached to the Heavenly Father, he opposes it. Anything that is attached to the Heavenly Father or is worshipped or is worshipped in reverence to the Heavenly Father, he exalted himself above it. So one of the principal things that the Lord told Adam, what the Lord told Noah, is to be fruitful and multiply. So Esau, being a devil, he doesn't want you to multiply. He wants you to add. He prefers addition. Okay, because in the ancient world and the way that it's going to be in the kingdom, men would have multiple wives so that they were able to multiply, and that's why the Lord said that the nation of Israel was as the sand of the sea and the stars of heaven. But what did Esau push? Monogamy, which means mono means one, poly means many. So Esau pushes a society where the men pretty much, well, he has it in the laws where you're not allowed to have more than one wife. But even if he didn't have it in the laws, he set up a society to where you could only afford one woman, because he doesn't want you to be fruitful and multiply. He wants to keep the population at a manageable number. According to the Georgia Guidestones, it's 500 million, which means that 7.5 billion people have to die. And I saw this video on Twitter that really inspired the lesson, and the Spirit just reminded me. So let me see. I hope I saved it, because it goes right into this, because I didn't know that this was such a big topic as far as overpopulation. But Esau, because the earth is not overpopulated, but what Esau, damn, I didn't save it. What Esau does is he pushes out false narratives. He plays on the minds of the people. Fuck. So anyway, in the video though, what it was saying, it was a bunch of different interviews, news clips, scientists speaking, different in news interviews and stuff, and all the scientists, they kept saying, well, and this was like in the 70s, in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, they were saying that the population, either the population is going to have to the population growth is going to have to be minimized, or the birth rate is going to have to be minimized. They said because if it isn't, they have this fear of not enough food, not enough this, not enough that. The Lord said that the earth, the earth is plenteous, man. If it's not enough of anything, it's because you devils are holding it back and you're mismanaging the earth. So, like the scriptures say, the earth shall not henceforth yield its strength. It's a lucky for not going into a lot of different precepts, but I'm just quoting precepts right now. So I mentioned the Handmaid's Tale has the same concept, same plot of the movie. We're seeing that plot take place, at least what they're saying. And so this is how we know that the kingdom of heaven has to come. Because if it didn't, the longer time goes on, the longer time goes on, the less infertile humans are becoming from living in this polluted society. As a matter of fact, let me get this precept now. Micah chapter 2, right? This is milk. And 10. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. So that's why we're not here. That's what it means when it says arise ye and depart, meaning mentally depart out of this kingdom. Don't give in to the hoopla, everything, because the way that the American society is, this week is a hot topic, the next week is a hot topic, then a week after that it's a new hot topic. That's how American society is. Oh, you had this happened, Kanye. Oh, and then the next week, oh, it's this actress died, and then the next week, oh, it's this new movie. It's always a hot topic. But the Lord said to depart out of that cycle and get locked into the scriptures, get locked in to your heritage, your Yahweh Shemel Shah. Understand that prophecy is unfolding around you, and these things were set up to distract you. So it says, Micah 2 and 10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Meaning what? This, you weren't brought here to be here forever. We're here for a period of time, and then we're going to move. We're here, this place is going to be destroyed, and the elect is back home. It says, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. So this place is polluted, man, and it's destroying mankind, as if you will, to the point where if the Lord didn't come back, nobody would be saved, man. So for all you people who don't think that this is the end, then when obviously the end is coming. If you don't think it's the biblical end, the end is coming. Some kind of end is coming. It says humans could face a reproductive crisis if action is not taken to tackle a drop in sperm count. Right. I forget, it was a video. It was a video of this. She was an Israelite, but she looked like a so-called African. She talked like a so-called African. And she was saying, I don't know if her math was correct, but she was saying that there's so many millions of sperm in a man's testicles. She said something to the effect that it would take one man, or it would only take 30 men to repopulate the entire planet Earth, because of the amount of sperm count that's in a man's testicles, that it would only take 30 men to, you know what I'm saying? If they was all to empty out their sperm count, it would only take 30 men to basically match the Earth's population, which that's how in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to inhabit other planets, because the Earth is not going to be big enough for us, because here it is, we're not going to die, okay, and we're going to constantly we're going to always be having new children being born. So that's why the Lord said, get a precept here. Yeah, Isaiah 54. Woo! It's the spirit. Isaiah 54, verse 1. It says, "Sing, O barren." What is it? What does it mean to be barren? Look at the wow. That's the spirit. It says the fertility of Zion. Call out and lie. How about Shmir Shot? So the fertility of Zion, right? How fertile is Zion gonna be? You know, so-called Negro Latin American women. There's a saying that they say among them. They'll be like it'll be a group of sisters, and they'll be like, "Oh no, that's the fertile one. She fertile." What does that mean? That means she easily gets pregnant. So it says the fertility of Zion. It says, "Sing, O barren." The word barren means that you cannot conceive. Okay, and the majority of our women, a lot of our women struggle with that more than more than speak on it. It says that thou didst not bear, break forth into singing, and really that's talking about Rachel, or I always get them confused, but one of Jacob's wives was barren. I think it was Leah. Okay, because also Abraham's wife, Sarai, was barren also. So the Lord uses fertility to humble women, because it's a woman's joy and a man to have children. So when a woman can't bear children, that's a great humbling, and that's what the Lord did to some of our foremothers, and that's spiritual. That's spiritual, because right now we're living in a time of pretty much the earth is like barren. The earth is like barren. The type of condition that the earth is in, it's like it's not fruitful. Spiritual fruits, children, it's not fruitful. So it says, "Break forth into singing and cry aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, saith Yahweh." Right. That's really, like I said, that's going into Abraham, his wife, because his concubine had more children than Sarai, but the seed that mattered was Isaac. Regardless if the concubine had 8 sons, the one that mattered was Isaac. That's why the Lord said, "Sing, O barren." It's okay, Sarah, that you couldn't bear children, because the child that you're going to bear is Zion, or is going to become Zion. So verse 2 now is the point. It says, "Enlarge the place of thy tent." Why is the Lord going to have to enlarge the place of our tent? Meaning he's going to make the earth bigger. In the kingdom, the earth is going to be bigger, and it's already big, but the Lord is going to expand everything. It says, "Enlarge the place of thy tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of thine habitation. Spare not, lengthen the cords, and strengthen thy stakes." So the Lord is going to enlarge our habitation. He's going to stretch our curtains even further. Okay? And that's how like I said, we're going to inhabit other planets, because the earth is not going to be big enough for us, man. The earth is not going to be big enough for us for eternity. Here we're going to live forever, man. We're going to live forever. So if we're going to live forever, we're going to need, we're going to need a lot of room. My computer want to act slow. Bear with me. All right, St. John 16, verse 1. "These things have I spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yeah, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doth the Most High service. And these things will they do unto you." Let me see. Maybe it's 14. Okay, yeah, it's lucky. St. John 14 and 2. It says, "In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you, I go to prepare a place for you." So who is the Father? Yahweh. Okay, Yahweh is the Father. And Yahushua said, "In his Father's house are many mansions." The Father's house is okay, the heavens. what they would call space. And beyond space, there's another realm. Okay, but the Father's house starts with space. So the Lord said, "In my Father's house are many mansions." Right. Basically, in Yahweh's creation, there are many mansions. There are many planets, if you will. There are many habitations for man in the Lord's creation, because the house of the Lord is everything that Yahweh created, which is everything, visible and invisible. It said there are many mansions. This is why they're constantly discovering new planets. They call them super Earths. Oh, we found a super Earth so many million light years away, and it looks like it has everything you need to have water, and there's hundreds of thousands of billions upon billions of planets out there, okay, for us that we can inhabit. Even the ones within our solar system, I wouldn't doubt that we will be able to inhabit, just because according to what we know right now, according to Esau science, Jupiter is not inhabitable, and Mars, we can't go to Mars because it's too hot, and Pluto, we can't go to Pluto because it's that nigga Esau don't know what the fuck he talking about. That's not his blessing. Okay, he need to stick to guns, because that's his blessing, the sword, guns, military might. Talk about that, but don't talk about things that was reserved for the nation of Israel, because you don't know nothing about it. We don't know nothing about it. Lord said, "I have not seen, ear have not heard what the Lord have promised them that wait for him." It says, "In my Father's house are many mansions." This word mansion, it says a staying, i.e. a residence. Yeah, we call Earth home. Earth is our residence. It says a staying, abode, a mansion, abode, metaphorically of God, the Spirit, indwelling in believers. So the mansions is referring to the planets. Okay. So we're gonna need them extra planets, because our fertility is gonna be very high. Okay, just put it like that. It says a study published in the journal, back in this article, and I'm gonna close out. A study published in the Journal of Human Reduction Update, based on 153 estimates from men who were probably unaware of their fertility, suggested that the average sperm concentration fell an estimated 101.2 million per milliliter to 49 million per milliliter between 1973 and 2018. That's more than 50%. It says a 51.6% drop in just, what is that, 30 years? 73, 83, 93, 2003, 2013. Okay, so 45 years. 45 years. In just 45 years, 51.6% of male sperm count is gone. So if you do another 45 years, that means that no male would have any fertility in their nutsack, man. So how could the kingdom come? Anybody that say we're not at the end, you a spiritual redarder. You a spiritual redarder. Okay. Total sperm counts fell by 62.3% during the same period. So total sperm counts fell by 62 points. They tried to slip that in there. So this is just per milliliter. Per milliliter is dropped 50%, but total sperm counts dropped 62.3%. Research by the same team reported in 2017 found that sperm concentration, which when you go with sperm is a Greek word. When you read Romans 1:7, I think, talks about Yahweh born of the seed of David. The seed of David speaks about the seed of David, by the seed of man, seed. When you go to that word seed in the translation, in the original or in the previous text, which is the Greek, and then before that it was Hebrew, the word in the Greek is sperma. Sperma. So Yahweh was born of a sperma. It says found that concentrated sperm had more than half in the last 40 years. However, at the time, a lack of data for other parts of the world meant the findings were focused on a region compassing Europe, North America, and Australia. Well, and we know China, they ain't having babies. They got laws against it. Japan ain't having babies. So that's pretty much the whole world. Pretty much the whole world. I'm not going to read all these different, comments and, but the point is that, man, Yahweh Shah said it. I'll go back to it. And Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabrak. Yeah, like the brother said, a lot of Israel got cut off in the past for being wicked, and majority of the spirits is back. This is why the earth population is higher than it's ever been. It says, Esau says that space is infinite, so the Lord can do whatever the hell he wants. Space is infinite. It only makes sense that it would have to be because we're gonna live forever. We're gonna be constantly wanting to go explore new things. You know what I'm saying? Not conquer, but establish new habitations. We're not going to be able to get bored, so it has to be constantly expanding. Isaiah 55 verse 8: for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. Right. Meaning houses within houses, galaxy within galaxies. It's never ending, and that's why Esau tries so hard to accomplish that space thing, because he knows that's where the real prize is at. That's the real blessing, man. Access to the rest of the creation, in its totality, which is reserved for the nation of Israel, the Israelites. If you're not an Israelite, you ain't gonna get it. You ain't gonna get it. And if you are an Israelite, but you don't believe you an Israelite, you don't want to claim you Israelite, guess what? You're gonna die. You're gonna melt in thermonuclear fire, because that's what's gonna happen to America. It's gonna be destroyed in World War III by thermonuclear fire, and you're gonna melt, and then you're gonna come back in the kingdom as a newborn baby, and you're gonna be very sad about how you rejected the Lord. In 28, has thou not known, have heard that the everlasting power, Yahweh, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary? There is no searching of his understanding, right? Which is why I can't exactly tell you, I can't tell you, how the kingdom is exactly going to be. I can just read that give us clues. But the Lord said that he will enlarge our tents. 2 Ezra 2:11, their glory also will I take unto me, and give these the everlasting tabernacles which I have prepared for them. The brother said the sun is called a tabernacle in the scriptures, like planets, like a room within a mansion, galaxy. The Father's house is like an everlasting, endless space. Yep, kind of. So that's pretty much it, though. I said I was gonna read this Matthew one more time, though. Goes out, Matthew 24. So the Lord said it, man, and you see it. You see why the Lord said these things. Lord Yahweh Shah is not a man that he should lie. So it's going to get real, and we're not even, I'm just giving you a little report about male fertility. What the Lord is really speaking on here is how bad Jacob's trouble is going to be. How many people going to be getting killed? How many people going to starve? How many people going to get blown up by missiles? Okay. Matthew 24:22. And except those days should be shortened, the days that's coming. Because we ain't even in that time yet. But this article just shows that even if society was to go on as normal, eventually you would have a situation to where babies are not being born. And that's what you get when you allow the woman to rule over the man. You exalt the woman. You debase the man. You effeminize the man. This is the type of environment that you get. You get an environment where you can't even have babies. It says, except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. Elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. The word shorten, it says to mutilate. So the Lord's gonna cut this thing off, man. cut it off in the midst. It says to dock, i.e., a bridge shorten. No flesh. The word no is no, not, in direct questioning. No, none. Flesh. It said the meat of animals as food. The body as opposed to the soul or spirit. So the body of a man. So there should neither man nor beast be saved if the Lord didn't cut these days short, if he didn't mutilate these days. Word saved, sazo, which means safe. It's to save, i.e., deliver, protect, to keep safe, sound, to rescue from danger or destruction. So there's going to be so much danger and destruction that the Lord's going to have to cut the days short. And if the Lord didn't cut the days short, the elect will be consumed in this madness that's going on. So, Lord, when this wine, Shalom, Yahweh, Shem, Shabbat, Katham, Kom Yashrala, Shalom, Abad, Babor.